In this installment, I'm going to paint over this old canvas that I had lying around. At one point, I was breaking records, vinyl records, and then reassembling them kind of broken. And that's what I originally intended for this canvas. However long ago I planned. It's been lying around for a long time, just kind of daunting. I'm going to try not using the palette as much this episode. That was a really stiff brush. This is the old paint I'm covering over. I think I might just leave the teal, because that'll be hard to replicate. Hooker's Green is the color I'm using right now. I want to apologize for last episode. I was breathing so heavily, and I think it was because I just wasn't in the exact same world as I was portraying, because I was listening to music on headphones. So I dropped the headphones this episode, still kind of breathing heavily. I think that's just because I'm fat. But I'll be a little more cognizant of it in the future. This is episode 14. I also plan on releasing the close-up angle of this painting. But I'm going to cut the audio and play it at 6,000% the speed. So it's not going to be slow. I don't want to put too much green out at once. I don't want it to dry ahead of me. Thing about acrylics, they're fast drying, opposed to oils, which take forever to dry, which means it gives you a lot more time to play with it. With acrylics, everything is so immediate. So that if you make a mistake, it's a little bit more of an issue. It's harder to paint out. But at the same time, is it easier because it dries so fast you can just paint over top of it? I also have some palette knives, just plastic ones from Michael's that came in a brush pack. I'm going to be giving them a try for the first time in this episode. Whoop. This canvas, or the canvas holder, what do you call that? I know it has a better name than a canvas holder. Has 3 legs, holds canvases, and it has a funky name. It's not a palette. The palette is where the paints go. Okay, palette is where the paints go. Easel. That's the word I'm looking for. The easel isn't perfect, but it's really nice. The reason why I'm going to leave the teal is because I don't think I'm going to be able to replace it with the colors I'm using today. I'm using Abstract by Sennelier. Senoli? I don't know. It's from France, but they have very unique packaging, and I'm trying to take advantage of it today. Isn't that neato? I think it's pretty neato. Alright. Just like... It's probably too much paint there now for that section. But I could always just move some of it to the next section, which I'll do right away. Those lines were so perfect before because I taped it. That was what I did. But now I'm just kind of roughening up the edges, making it less perfect and more like my style, where it's just eyeballed to as best as it could be. I'm gonna dip this brush in a bit of water. That might have been too much. I should have shook it off a little bit more. Now it looks like it's really light green over there. Maybe I should... Need more green pigment. Just kind of put it in the areas where I'll need it. For this cat today, I believe I'm going to attempt to make it straight hot pink, or whatever tone of pink I have is what it'll be. Kind of running out of pigment there, but I don't want to put more on the, because then that'll be too much. Alright. That looks really dark green now. Done with the green. I won't bother trying to... yeah. I will, if I can find my pencil. Did I not put my pencil back? There's the pencil. I need to do multiple layers here. I should just go back to a brush. That's where I'll feel more comfortable. It's kind of fun to experiment during the show, but I guess we're learning together. It's pretty cool, pretty neato. But it's not like filling it up as much as I want to. Maybe it's because the pink is not as opaque as I would like it to be. Should use a bigger brush. I will. There's a semi-bigger brush. Yeah, it's just the paint. I'll just put a baseline. I think I'll put a more detailed layer over this. I think that's what helps sell this cat. Will just be the layers. So I'll take a quick intermission after I finish this layer of cat, get some inspiration. Be right back. You know how it works. You don't have to go nowhere. Sometimes I play music. I played music the last 2 episodes. Or no, actually I played some of my own music before. But I played other people's music this time around. Don't want the pink. I have this band called Pink Riot, and I was writing some radio scripts, and I wanted to come up with the complete opposite of Pink Riot. So I googled what the opposite color of pink was. They told me it was green. And then I went on that one dictionary where, like a thesaurus, and for riot, peace was one of it, so I came up with the alternate band Greenpeace, but then they got sued by Greenpeace because that's an actual organization saving animals. It's kind of way too much pigment there, I think. So I moved it from Greenpeace to green calm, and that was kind of lame, so then I went from that to green tranquility. That was the complete opposite of Pink Riot. I was kind of proud of myself, even though I had to do so many Google searches just to find that out. I didn't know what I was looking for when I started, but I was very pleased when I came to the end. What a fun paint to play with. I'm so used to the dollar store paints. Yeah, it doesn't have to be too perfect. It'll be more perfect the second layer around. Maybe I'll rub some red into it. Make some shades, rub some white into it, go the other direction. Yeah, that's more pink while in my ear, but tail has to be pink too. This is where I could do the Bob Ross swoops. Ooh. That's right. Remember what he does. It's been a week or so since I've watched an episode. Maybe I should go back. Never know what Netflix is gonna pull off of its roster next. You gotta be careful. I'd hate to be in the middle of a show, or a show that I'm always in the middle of, like The Office. Always in the middle of The Office. What if they just like one day pulled The Office? That would have been devastating for me had I not already owned all the seasons of The Office. So I am prepared personally, but I'm just thinking about average Joe who doesn't already own the whole series of The Office on DVD, or somebody who had their DVDs stolen by the pizza delivery guy. What if they stole their Office DVDs? They were kind of moved up from their Seinfeld ring. Kind of looks like a pink poop right now. All right, 15 minutes in, gonna take a first break. Am I? Or am I gonna keep painting? This is not the same paint. See if I get some of the pigment back in there. You could actually put paint back into these a little bit. Just a bit of a pain. Anyway, intermission now.
I was driving my Chevy to the levee, 1979. Hollywood night, secrets time to find. Her daddy won't mind if she's home on time. Daddy won't mind if she's home on time. That we never had, and baby you're so dead. I can still hear you say, do you remember when I was driving my Chevy to the levee, 1979. Hollywood night, secrets sounding fine. Her daddy won't mind if she's home on time. Daddy won't mind if she's home on time. I was drinking whiskey, you were drinking wine. Life just seems so easy, words that went with rhyme. We had the sound, but we ran out. Baby, all fears out. Still you stay. Do you remember when I was driving my Chevy to the levee, 1979. Hollywood night, secrets sounding fine. Her daddy don't mind if she's home on time. Daddy don't mind if she's home on time.
Hello. During the break, I don't know if I decided what I wanted to do with this cat yet. Is it just being an obese cat enough? Think it might be. Touch up some of the edges of the whites around the eyes, and then go right for the pupil, which I'll be using brown for. Pupil. Iris? Yeah, I think iris is a better way to say it. There we go, nice and pale brown eyes. Ooh, I like that. As you can see, I missed a little bit of green there, so I'm just gonna fill that in now. So I got too much further. Shan't be that hard. Does dry much darker. I can tell I'm putting down this wet coat of paint. It looks different than the rest of the green, but it's the exact same pigment over the exact same backdrop. We'll just see when it dries. It will be darker. Nicely done. Moving right on. Get another big brush out. It's a filbert. Looks like a filbert. Could have a more red tone, maybe. At least to these arms. Used to put a lot of red paint onto the palette. I don't think I'll be needing it all. But who knows. If I add white to the red, it should make pink. But I'm just using the flesh ochre. I did have that titanium white out as well. That's like a real flesh tone when I mix it in with the pink, or the red I mean. Quite an interesting color. Just try to stay within the lines a little bit. You can see through a little. Oh shit. I didn't even bother fixing the canvas. Add a little bit of that pink in with this weird fleshy tone I got. I was expecting it to be more like a straight up pink, mixing that flesh ochre with that red. What a very creative color. I'm still proud of myself. I'm just kind of experimenting with this painting more than anything now. Gotta learn somehow, and I decided to learn through experience. mix some of those colors right on the canvas. Why not? There's no rules. No rules where I'm from. I'm from the streets, y'all. Y'all? The country streets. I just put that layer of green there just now, so now I'm kind of worried not to mix that pink and the green together too much. The little pink poop cat. I think that's what I might call this kitty. See what happens when I mix some of that other pink in with this new pink. Maybe I'll make the tail a different color. Looks like the tail is more paler. That's what happened to it. Whoopsie. No such thing as catsidents. There we go. Painting some eyeballs. Going back in time, grabbing more of that red, mix it a little bit together, mix it a little more red. Not quite the same, but it looks like I shaded it, so it looks like it's on purpose. Yeah. A little bit of green touch up for our fructor, like right up here. maybe a little bit down here. I almost feel like I should put some little bit of green up here where I added the water by accident. Thin it down a little bit. I'm going to take a break, let this dry, and I'll be back with segment number 3. Going for a bit of a shorter episode this time around. The last episode was the longest episode. It was also the most annoying episode because it had a lot of me breathing in it. It's like this. Like overweightness, and then I couldn't hear myself. It's like dad breathing. I'm gonna avoid it for the future. During the break, I mixed some black together, brown and blue. I find it looks a little more black with a little bit more of the blue as opposed to the brown. And it's still kind of see a tinge of blue as I'm painting. I don't know if it'll come across in the camera too well. It's only HD. I'm still not quite sure what the meaning of this painting is yet. Every painting tells a story. Every picture should. It's at least worth 1,000 words, I'm told. I feel like I should put some shine in the eyes. I'll have to do it a little later if I remember. Oops. A little dot under his eye. I'm trying to work that out right now. Oh, did you hear that? My fridge just turned on. Might be able to hear it in the background of the audio. I hope not. But whatever. That's what happens doing this in the dining room. It's right beside the kitchen. Trying to make him look a little chubbier. That's what those lines around the mouth are for. I've never painted them before. I think I mixed up enough black. There'll probably be tons left over. I don't know if I want to paint the rear legs or not. Just make it kind of a blobby with two legs sticking out, I mean. Whoops, I got carried away. Should be fine. It'll look okay. Thought the line just looked a little thick, so. The bristles felt like they're getting dry, so give it some water. But I don't want to thin out the paint too much. Give him some claws. Thinking that maybe half of it, like maybe one bottom leg, and he's like totally sitting on the other one maybe. But it does kind of look good as a blob too. I think it's a little obvious. I didn't mean to come to a splat there. I cut up a new segment. I think I said this earlier on the show. I call it Speed Cats. I'll be doing it again for this. Speed Cats. Speed Cats. I'm also trying to do this one a little bit faster than the last ones. Because kept losing my B camera. Now I'm going to go with my A camera solo, so. Not that it's the end of the world. Who even watches that late into the episode? They're not too shabby. Thicken up a few of these lines, maybe. Looks a little too much like it's naked, like it doesn't have any fur. But maybe that's what it's supposed to be. I don't know, I just felt like I was just wrecking my painting there for a second. It doesn't look too bad. Bit of shine in his head, why not? It might have tip its tail. It looks like it needs some down here, just to happy little accident mistakes. Cover up where it was only one layer of paint thick. I should sign it with a different color. I'll sign it with yellow. That yellow really does pop with the orange background. There you go, pile of kitty. Ain't she so pretty? Psychiatric Perry, number 14. This will also be a subject of Fast Cats number 2. Kitty Blob.